This video is brought to you by the Raven Space Patreon page. Without your help, we cannot do any of the cool things we do, so Patreon allows you to support us and support independent media. And when you support us, we support you by giving you early access to videos, special giveaways, and even Ravens tickets. So check out the Raven Space Patreon and support today. Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have some great topics for you. But first, I want to say please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed. Also, a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers, because without you guys, none of this is possible. Thank you guys so much. Now we're going to hop into our first topic of the day, and it talks about an interview Ray Lewis had, which explains why Colin Kaepernick is not a part of the Baltimore Ravens. I know a lot of you guys don't like talking about this because it's really a non-issue now, but it is news. I do want to address it. It was done this morning off the presses. So basically, the reason that Ray Lewis says that they were going to bring him in, it was Ray Lewis, Bisciotti, Ozzie, John. They were going to bring Colin Kaepernick to the team, but they wanted Bisciotti to talk to Kaepernick first, just to make sure he wants to play football. And so while they were having this, dialogue, there was a tweet from Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, and it was a tweet that was very, I want to say racist. It was very strong. And what happened was, if you guys ever seen the movie Django, Samuel L. Jackson plays a house slave, and Leonardo DiCaprio plays the slave master. Sorry, it's a tough topic. It's a tough topic to talk about. So if I'm kind of, so in this tweet, Steve Bisciotti was the Leonardo DiCaprio character, and Ray Lewis was the character played by Samuel L. Jackson, which again, in my opinion, is unacceptable for a player who's trying to get on a team to do something like that. But that's what happened. It wasn't him, it was his girlfriend. But again, a family is a team, right? So his team did it. And so that was the reason. And I do believe Ray Lewis. Now, a lot of things that Ray Lewis says as a public figure, as a person who's in the press, I don't think he's telling the truth. I don't think I don't like him saying it. Like when he called Joe Flacco soft or not a leader or whatever. But this, I believe Ray Lewis, I believe maybe they weren't right about to call him when it happened, but I do believe that they were going to look to bring him in as a backup. And then all this stuff around him just didn't help. And it would drive me away if I was Bisciotti and I saw a picture like that. That would drive me away. And I understand it's not him, it's his girlfriend. But again, they're a unit. They come together. The same way if you're married, that if someone doesn't like your wife, that you have to deal with that. Or someone doesn't like your husband, you have to deal with that. The same thing happens here. So I agree that if Ray Lewis is telling the truth, Cap should not be on the team. And just a quick sidebar about Cap and his team just have to do better, right? For example, Kaepernick went to Miami one time and he wore a Castro shirt. Again, another touchy subject. But if you want to be on a team, if you want to be on the Dolphins, you can't do that because of the population down there. They feel very strongly about that. We're not saying don't be yourself, but it's just very, very tough to do what he's doing and trying to get a job. It sucks, but that's what happened. That's what Ray Lewis said. I believe him. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? And I'll move on to the next topic. And it talks about the depth chart. The Ravens released the depth chart for game 1, and there's some interesting facts that I want to point out to you guys. So there's two that jumped out at me right away. First, no fullback, and I said this before. Ricard's not at the fullback, is the DT. I cannot see Ricard playing, a lot of snaps on offense. So in my mind, this is a one-back set, basically. Marshall Yonder said today that they're, going to run the ball more. I just can't see that with no fullback. There's no way in my mind that Ricard's, is going to be playing fullback as often, because really he's not a receiving threat. So you kind of know that if he's in the game, he's either blocking or it's going to be something that, he's just a screen guy. I wouldn't, you put your worst coverage linebacker on him and you can't even throw the ball his way. So I don't think that he'll be in the game that much. So I really do think that this is going to be a one-back set, and if we do run the ball a lot, it's going to be one back, and usually teams that run the ball a lot have a fullback on their team, unless they have a special running back, which the Ravens do not have, right? So that was the first thing. The second thing that jumped out at me, well, very, very simply, was Tim Williams is in the last spot. Tim Williams got beat out by people who I knew he was going to beat out. He's going to get beat out by Terrell Suggs. We knew that. He's going to get beat out by Matt Judon. We knew that. He got beat out by Zadarius Smith, which I was very surprised about. Now, he is a rookie, and Zadarius Smith is, I believe, 3 years in. But I was surprised about that. And it just shows you that he's super raw. And it's going to take some time for him to get up to speed. But those are the two things that struck me. What struck you guys about the depth chart? I would like to know, of course, who the receivers are. Another thing that I'm going to tell you guys, James Hurst is the starting left guard, and it shows you how slim our offensive line is right now, because not only is he the starting left guard, he's the backup for both tackle positions. And usually you would like to have a backup that's not also a starter. It's weird. But what's going to happen is if a tackle gets injured, they'll push him to tackle and plug in a guard that they have on the bench. But I thought that was interesting. Not as interesting as the first two I told you guys about, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. So we're going to move on to the next topic. And this topic talks about power rankings from NFL.com. I did power rankings on the last episode as well, but I got a lot of questions saying that I chose the Bleacher Report power rankings because they were favorable to the Ravens and this and that and this and that, but it's just not true. I enjoy the Bleacher Report's power rankings. I think when it comes to analysis, I think they do a good job, but I want to keep it 100% on board. So I found the power rankings from NFL.com. It has the Ravens ranked 22nd, which is too low in my opinion. A number 5, if a defense is ranked in the top 5, they cannot be 22nd. That's just that's crazy, unless the offense is like the worst offense in the league, which the Ravens offense won't be the worst in the league. So the main reason they had him ranked so low is because they're worried about Joe Flacco, and I would not be worried about Joe Flacco from everything that's coming out, but they are. Again, if they even said in the article that they're going to be a top 5 defense, I just don't see how they have the Ravens ranked so low. But again, the Ravens are used to this, being a team that is slept on. So they're going to come out and they're going to show you something. And I think that the Ravens are going to have a big game against the Bengals because of this. But we'll talk about that more on Friday, the preview show of Ravens Space Daily. So we'll go in to the mailbag segment like we do every single episode, where we answer a question from you guys, the Raven Space community. Again, please send your questions to mailbag@theravenSpace.com, and we will read it on the show. So please send those in. And this question comes from Thomas, and Thomas asks, are you surprised how healthy Joe Flacco looks and how confident the Ravens are with him? Thank you so much for your question, Thomas. And the truth is, I am a little surprised for a player to literally, be hurt the entire preseason. Every time John Harbaugh asks him a question, John Harbaugh gets an attitude. He gets upset. They thought about bringing Kaepernick in. They brought in Woodrum. They brought in another quarterback. They got released very quickly. They brought in Thad Lewis. Ryan Mallett was playing. I'm surprised how healthy he looks from the videos I see at practice and different things like that. And I'm also surprised how confident the Ravens are that he'll stay healthy. We do not have a good offensive line right now, but they're super confident. And I'm surprised. I'm not that confident. I really do think that it's a really a large chance that he'll take a big hit on Sunday and we'll be in trouble. Now, again, I'm a great fan of Joe Flacco, as you guys can tell by my shirt, as you can see. But I wouldn't be as optimistic for his health as the Ravens seem to be. They love Joe, they trust Joe, but I would not be as optimistic as they are currently being. So thank you so much for your question, Thomas. And this is the end of Raven Space Daily. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to Raven Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed. Also, if you want to help us and support us, check our Patreon page. It's in the description below. Also, if you guys haven't seen the swag bag, It's the first ever episode where we review products about the Baltimore Ravens to make you and I a better fan. Check it down there below. Check it down below. And also, like I said, subscribe, check out social media. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.